The Cuckoo's Nest, where grub meets giggles, nestled in Albany like a comedy club for your stomach. The Cuckoo's Nest has become the chuckle palace of the capital region. From the moment you step in, you'll be greeted with the warmth of a southern grandma's kitchen and the wit of a seasoned stand-up comic. Their culinary concoctions will make you laugh out loud and crave more. Fried green tomatoes, tangy, crispy, and so absurdly delicious, you'll wonder why all tomatoes aren't fried. Grit tots. These aren't just grits, they're comedy in your mouth. Imagine a fluffy, cheesy bite with a hint of sausage gravy that'll make your taste buds break into side-splitting laughter. Spicy truffle chicken sandwich, a symphony of flavors so harmonious, it'll make you forget about your stand-up routine. The chicken is juicy, the truffle aroma is intoxicating, and the parmesan crisps add a crunchy punchline that'll make your tummy roar with applause. But the show doesn't end there. Their signature cocktails are like a comedy duo. The Mexican Mule will leave you with a zing, while the Farm Kissed will have you giggling like a tipsy stand-up comedian. Now let's talk prices. Yes, some dishes may seem like a higher than usual cover charge, but remember, these aren't just meals, they're performances that'll leave you with memories to cherish. So head on over to the Cuckoo's Nest, pull up a bar stool, and prepare for a culinary comedy show that'll have your stomach laughing and your sides hurting. Just don't forget to tip your server, the funniest member of the cast. Yo, check it out. I strolled into Josie's table like Kevin Hart in a fancy elevator, and let me tell you, this place was not messing around. The menu was like a scavenger hunt, but in a good way. It was small, but I swear it had a telepathic connection to my taste buds. Everything sounded bomb, so I ended up ordering the whole restaurant. The starters were like a party in my mouth. The buffalo cauliflower was like a spicy disco ball, the roasted mushrooms had an egg on top like a funky hat, and the hummus plate was like a veggie dance party. For the main event, I got the Nashville hot chicken sandwich. It was a firecracker, but in the best possible way. My husband got the filet mignon sandwich, and he was grinning like he'd won the lottery. Plus, those truffle fries. They were like a sprinkle of gold dust on top of my meal. The vibe was on point too. It was like a chic house party, with high ceilings and big windows letting in all the good vibes. But here's the kicker, they got this crazy sound dome thing going on. It's like dining in a giant fishbowl. All the chatter gets trapped, and it's like everyone's talking at once. It's a little like being in a loud crowd, but it also feels super cozy and intimate. I was basically yelling at my wife about how amazing the food was, and she could hear me perfectly over the buzz. The staff was the real MVP. They hustled like they were in a rap battle, getting our food out like it was a hot potato. And they were always there when we needed more drinks or another round of that fire buffalo cauliflower. In short, Josie's table is a top-tier dining spot that'll have you grinning like a Cheshire cat and dancing like a chicken on steroids. Highly recommended if you're looking for a great meal and a touch of Kevin Hart-style comedy. Albany Ale Oyster, where the oysters are raw and the beers are hoppy. If you're looking for a restaurant that's anything but boring, then the Albany Ale Oyster is the place for you. This place is a melting pot of multicultural people, all laughing and having a good time while rocking out to some sweet tunes. The waitstaff here is like a well-oiled machine. They're quick, responsive, and always smiling, even when they're running around like headless chickens. We showed up on a Monday at around 4:55 p.m., and the place was packed like a clown car. But no worries, we were seated in no time and offered a happy hour menu that was about to expire at 5 p.m. Talk about cutting it close. We ordered a dozen raw oysters, a lobster roll, and the pretzels. The oysters were so fresh, they practically jumped out of their shells and into our mouths. The lobster roll was pure heaven, and the pretzels were so big and fluffy, they could have been used as pillows. But wait, there's more. The Albany Ale Oyster has an epic selection of beers, both European and American. They even have these cool crowlers where you can take your beer to go. You'll also find a surprisingly great selection of wine by the glass and bottle, including some funky orange wines. As for the food menu, It's not your typical ale and oyster fare. We had a Reuben with lobster and kimchi, and a smash burger with caramelized onions, cheddar, and jalapeno jelly on a toasted brioche bun. And let me tell you, these dishes were no joke. The disco chips were the highlight of the evening. Think nachos, but with kettle chips, fish roe, and a delicious cilantro cream sauce. Trust me, these babies are worth every calorie. Overall, the Albany Ale Oyster is a must-visit for anyone who loves great food, drinks, and a lively atmosphere. Just be prepared to bring your dancing shoes, because this place will have you grooving all night long. At the Copper Crow, your taste buds will embark on a global adventure while your wallet takes a well-deserved vacation. The atmosphere is a symphony of eclecticism, stained glass, lush greenery, and mid-century flair that would make Joan Crawford green with envy. And the best part? It's lit like a nightlight on a moonless night, so you can pretend you're dining in a clandestine speakeasy or a cave inhabited by fashion-forward bats. The menu is as diverse as a United Nations Peace Summit, featuring dishes inspired by cuisines from around the world. From crispy falafel to steamed clams that'll make you forget there's a whole ocean between you and the beach, their culinary creations are like a round-the-world ticket for your palate. And let's not forget the cocktails. Their blackberry sour is so good, it'll make your margarita blush. They've also got an egg white free rose is a rose that will have you wondering if your favorite Harry Potter drink just got a fancy upgrade. But like any good party, there are a few potential hiccups. The service can be as reliable as a weatherman during a hurricane, and the hostess might welcome you with the same warmth as a tax audit. But hey, who needs good service when you've got food and drinks that make up for any shortcomings? So, if you're looking for a culinary adventure that's sure to leave you both satisfied and slightly befuddled, head to the Copper Crow. Just don't expect a red carpet welcome or your eyes to adjust to the dim lighting. The Roosevelt Room, where fine dining meets a Robin Williams stand-up. You're ready for a culinary adventure that'll have you giggling like a maniac. Buckle up for the Roosevelt Room, where the food is as top-notch as the humor. First impression. It's like walking into a posh lounge with a twinkle in its eye. The menu is a beacon of amusement, glowing brighter than my goofy smile. Now, let's talk food. The Spanish octopus is so tender, it could make a toddler squeal with delight. The bacon-wrapped scallops. Imagine a bacon-flavored hug that melts in your mouth like a whisper. But it's the pepperista cocktail that steals the show. It's like a spicy serrata dancing on my taste buds, garnished with the cutest little cheese cube that made me want to say, "Que queso." Service. These folks could make a grumpy cat purr. They anticipate your every need, even if it's just a silly joke. Trust me, I've tried them all. The tasting menu is a culinary symphony that will make your stomach sing like a drunken karaoke star. And the almond joy dessert. It's a sugar-coated hug, the perfect ending to a meal that left me both full and chuckling. So, if you're looking for a fine dining experience that's equal parts delicious and absurd, look no further than the Roosevelt Room. It's like a Robin Williams movie on a plate. Just remember, if you don't laugh, you're probably too serious for this foodie wonderland. Y'all, let me tell you about Mission BBQ in Albany, where the barbecue is so good, even the meat sweats are patriotic. I waltz in on a packed Saturday, expecting to wait an eternity. But lo and behold, I'm greeted by a queue so short, I could have sworn they were handing out free puppies. I ordered the 3-meat sampler, which is like the Avengers of BBQ, pulled pork, pulled chicken, and brisket that'd make a Texan shed a tear. The pulled pork was melt-in-your-mouth tender, the pulled chicken had a smoky kick, and the brisket. Oh my brisket. It was so juicy and flavorful, I could have marched straight to the White House and demanded a raise for the chef. Oh, and don't get me started on the sides. The mac and cheese was the stuff of dreams, creamy and cheesy enough to make Kraft Dinner curl up and cry in a corner. The green beans were, well, they were green beans. But hey, who needs excitement when you've got barbecue this good? But wait, there's more. Mission BBQ is a salute to our brave service members, first responders, and law enforcement. The walls are adorned with badges, flags, and a giant American flag that makes you want to stand up and sing God Bless America. And they even pause service at noon to sing the national anthem, so you can wash down your ribs with a healthy dose of patriotism. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the cleanliness. This place is spotless, y'all. I saw more staff wiping tables than I've seen ketchup packets at a diner. You could eat off the floor and probably come out cleaner than before you went in. So, head on down to Mission BBQ for a barbecue experience that'll make your taste buds scream USA. Just remember to bring your appetite, your American pride, and a spare pair of pants in case the meat sweats get the better of you. Lost Found, where food goes to die, then comes back to life. If you're looking for a restaurant that's lost its way, well, you found it. Lost Found is a culinary enigma, where the food is so good it'll make you forget that the service is so bad it'll make you want to lose your mind. I'll start with the good stuff. The chicken katsu sandwich is the culinary equivalent of a bear hug from a fluffy cloud. The chicken is as tender as a politician's promise, and the panko coating is as crispy as a broken bone. The pickled vegetables and yuzu mayo add a symphony of flavors that'll make your taste buds sing like a choir. The empanadas are another highlight. I swear, the filling was so flavorful, I could almost forget that the crust was tougher than a stubborn toddler. Okay, let's talk about the service. Imagine if you were served by a group of squirrels that had just escaped from a circus. They were clumsy, forgetful, and had a knack for misplacing silverware like it was their job. But hey, who needs good service when you have beer? And boy, do they have beer. A candle-bedecked beer for a birthday. That's like giving a kid a dog made of broccoli. Sure, it's a nice gesture, but who's really gonna enjoy it? Price-wise, Lost Found is a bit on the pricey side. But hey, you get what you pay for. And in this case, you get a dining experience that's both delicious and infuriatingly frustrating. Overall, Lost Found is like a beautiful, talented actress who just can't seem to get her act together. But don't let that stop you from giving it a try. Just be prepared for a culinary rollercoaster ride that's as bumpy as a politician's apology. Irongate Cafe, where history and hunger collide. Attention all foodies and history buffs. If you're ever in Albany and craving a memorable dining experience, look no further than Irongate Cafe. This charming establishment is hidden behind a gate that beckons you into a secret garden of culinary delights. Prepare yourself for a time warp as you step inside the cafe, feeling like you're stepping into the Urs. The Victorian home's original features are still intact, providing an ambience that's both cozy and elegant. It's like having brunch with Marie Antoinette, but with far less guillotining. The menu is a veritable feast for the eyes and taste buds. From their signature Benedict and the French toast sandwich to their Cajun scramble with cornbread that's better than your grandma's, Irongate has something to satisfy every craving. And let's not forget their apple cider mimosa, which will make you wonder why you ever drank plain old OJ. Be warned, this place is so popular, it's like the DMV for brunch. But don't fret. They have a clever trick up their sleeve, a Yelp waitlist. You can sit in the comfort of your own home and watch the queue magically dwindle before your very eyes. Now, about the potential germophobes among us. Yes, they do wash their dishes near the restrooms. It's like the culinary equivalent of The Shining. But hey, it's all part of the experience. And besides, the food is so good, you'll probably forget all about the dishwashing nightmares. In conclusion, Irongate Cafe is a must-visit for anyone who appreciates good food, history, and the occasional dishwashing-induced phobia. Just remember to make reservations, use the Yelp waitlist, and don't be afraid to embrace the germs. It's all part of the Irongate charm. Dove Deer, Albany's culinary oasis where laughter reigns supreme. My fellow foodies, prepare for a gastronomic adventure that'll make your taste buds do a tap dance and your funny bone tickle. Dove Deer in Albany, the capital city of comedy, has it all: delectable dishes, impeccable service, and an ambience that feels like a comedy club without the overpriced drinks. Let's start with the food. Imagine Brussels sprouts so tantalizing, they'll make you forget about kale chips. Their Kung Pao Brussels sprouts are the stuff of legends, a fusion of flavors that'll leave you saying, Brussels sprouts. Hell yeah, I'll take him. And who doesn't love a good sandwich? Their chicken sandwich is a symphony of flavors, the chicken tender enough to melt in your mouth, the bun soft as a pillow, and the fries crispy enough to make a potato chip blush. But wait, there's more. Their Peruvian chicken and rice is a culinary masterpiece, the chicken seasoned with spices that make you wonder if a Peruvian goddess whispered the recipe to the chef. And the plantains. Oh, the plantains. They're fried to perfection, a crispy accompaniment to the tender chicken. Now, let's talk about the service. These folks are so friendly, they'll make you feel like you're dining with your best buds. They genuinely care about making your experience exceptional, and they'll even throw in a joke or two if they're feeling particularly mischievous. The atmosphere is equally delightful. The bar area is perfect for a post-work cocktail or a game of darts. And the dining room. It's like eating in a cozy living room, complete with a fireplace that'll warm your soul on those chilly Albany nights. But don't take my word for it. Just listen to this gem from a recent reviewer. The staff, the waitresses, bartender greet diners upon arrival. Dove Deer is an instant NY classic. So, my fellow comedy enthusiasts and food lovers, next time you're in Albany, head to Dove Deer. It's a place where laughter and deliciousness collide, leaving you with a satisfied stomach and a smile on your face. Just be prepared to wait a bit, because even the locals know about this culinary gem. And hey, who needs reservations when you can laugh it up at the bar with a glass of Montepulciano Abruzzo in hand? Bitchin' Donuts, the place where donuts dance and calories don't matter. Hold onto your taste buds, folks. Bitchin' Donuts in Albany is the culinary equivalent of a unicorn riding a rainbow made of glazed sugar. First off, the packaging is Insta-worthy. Each box is like a tiny masterpiece, begging to be photographed before you dive in. And speaking of diving in, these donuts are like little pillows of joy that burst in your mouth with every bite. From the lemon-infused cream that makes your eyes roll back in ecstasy to the peanut butter-filled bad boys that will make your sweet tooth do a happy dance, there's a donut here for every craving. And let's not forget the French toast roll that tastes like breakfast in donut form. It's a party in your mouth. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Ellen, calories. Well, let me tell you, when donuts are this good, calories become an irrelevant concept. Besides, you can always dance it off later. Or blame it on the Ukrainian babusha who made you do it. One tiny complaint, they don't have decaf, which is a bummer for us caffeine-sensitive folks. But hey, who needs decaf when you've got donuts that will keep you wired all day long? The atmosphere is pretty bitchin' too. The walls are adorned with murals that will make you question your sanity in the best possible way. And the staff. They're as friendly as the faces on the boxes. So what are you waiting for? Ditch the diet and head to Bitchin' Donuts. Your taste buds will thank you, and your calorie tracker will have a nervous breakdown. It's the perfect place to indulge in a little bit of edible happiness without guilt or judgment. Just be prepared for the drool factor. It's real, folks. Calling all foodies and seekers of laughter. The Hollow Bar Kitchen in Albany is a culinary wonderland that will tantalize your taste buds while tickling your funny bone. Picture this, a private party where the staff is so well trained, they could execute a seamless event with their eyes closed. It's like a well-oiled machine, but instead of gears and cogs, there are smiles and delicious food. Now, let's talk about the food. Their buffet line is like an edible masterpiece, featuring everything from chicken parm that could make a mob boss weep to a braised pork dish that'll have you squealing like a pig at a mud spa. And those green beans and asparagus. Oh my, they're so perfectly charred, you'll want to give the grill a standing ovation. But hold your horses, there are a few minor quirks. Watch out for the unexpected step down into the bar, lest you become a human bowling ball. And those chairs perched on tables in the unused front bar. They're like abandoned toys, longing for someone to play with them. One reviewer lamented the lack of parking, but let's be real, finding a parking spot in Albany is like trying to find a unicorn in a field of goats. Just remember, the culinary treasures that await you at the Hollow are worth the extra steps. Now, let's talk about the service. It's a bit like a slow-motion comedy. The server may start by informing you of the unavailable menu items due to a busy week, which is code for we've been slacking off. But hey, at least they're honest. And that vegan chicken sandwich. It's like a juicy chicken impersonator made from plant-based goodness. And the beer cheeseburger. It's a cheesy, leafy delight that will make your taste buds do a happy dance. In short, the Hollow Bar Kitchen is a culinary comedy club where the food is the star and the service is the supporting cast. So grab your forks and your funny bones and prepare for an unforgettable dining experience that will leave you laughing and licking your lips. Hattie's, where the food's so good you'll forget your own name. If you're a vegetarian, rejoice. Hattie's has got your back. Their hush puppies are like little pillows of fried heaven. Biscuits that'll make you slap your grandma. And cornbread that's sweeter than a baby's bottom. For the carnivores out there, don't worry, there's plenty of meat on the menu. But be warned, their chicken is so fried, it's practically levitating. And if you're feeling fancy, go for the brunch. The grits fried green tomato is a dish that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about grits. It's like grits meets fried heaven on a plate. Now, let's talk about the service. It's like that one friend who always shows up late but you still love them anyway. They're a little forgetful, but hey, at least they're trying. Their ambience is on point. It's like they took a southern plantation and threw it into a blender with a modern bar. The bar area is all green and lush, like you're dining in a jungle. And they kept the old charm of the former Lombardos, so it's like a historical landmark with fried chicken. Overall, Hattie's is a must-visit. It's where you go when you want to eat like a king or queen, but don't want to do the dishes. Just be prepared to lose your name in a haze of fried goodness. Yo, Seinfeld here. Let me tell you about this spot, Cafe Madison. It's like the soup Nazi of restaurants, no reservations, no mercy. But once you get in, it's a feast for the senses. The new digs are like a fancy hotel lobby, with all these big open spaces and a bar that looks like it's straight out of Vegas. And the food. It's like a symphony on a plate. The omelets are like fluffy clouds, and the rye toast is so crunchy it makes you want to break into a Broadway musical. But the star of the show is the Nashville hot breakfast burrito. Now, don't be fooled by the name. It's not as spicy as it sounds. It's more like a gentle kiss from a Nashville cougar. The one downside is the coffee. Apparently, their barista needs a lesson from Elaine Bennis on how to froth milk. But hey, who needs caffeine when you've got food this good? Overall, Cafe Madison is a must-try. It's like a little slice of heaven in Albany, where the food is on point and the atmosphere is so cozy. You'll forget you're waiting for a table longer than George waits for a tuna sandwich. So go forth, my hungry friends, and dine at the Café Shiznit. Barcelona, Albany's culinary gem with a side of laughter. Prepare to be tantalized, my fellow foodies. Barcelona in Albany is a dining experience that will tickle your taste buds and leave you craving for more. Let's start with the bruschetta bites. Picture this, warm, crispy squares of bread topped with a symphony of flavors that will make your mouth do a happy dance. The steak. It's like a culinary masterpiece painted with red wine glaze and cooked to perfection. Every bite is a moment of pure ecstasy. But hold your horses, meat lovers. The lamb is the star of the show here. It's so tender, it melts in your mouth like a warm summer breeze. The sauce is a mystery, but it's so good, you'll want to bathe in it, metaphorically speaking, of course. Now, let's talk oysters. I'm not a seafood aficionado, but if I had to try them for the first time, Barcelona would be my choice. Their oysters, swimming in a delectable sangria sauce, will convert even the most skeptical of landlubbers. Service at Barcelona is impeccable. Your waiter will be your personal genie, ensuring your every whim is satisfied. Their water glasses don't just stay full, they're like bottomless pits of hydration. And don't even get me started on the wine selection. It's so extensive, it could make a sommelier weep with joy. As for the ambience, it's warm and inviting, with a touch of Spanish flair. It's the perfect place to celebrate a special occasion or simply indulge in a culinary adventure. Now, here's the funny part. The first time I visited Barcelona, I sat under the AC unit. It was like dining in a refreshing oasis on a hot summer day. The room was so quiet, you could hear your own thoughts, which is rare for a restaurant. So, dear patrons, if you're looking for a dining experience that will satisfy your taste buds, make you smile, and leave you dreaming of paler nights, Barcelona is your destination. Just remember, reservations are highly recommended, or you may end up like me, sitting under the AC unit. But hey, who needs a warm ambience when you have a steak that melts in your mouth? Oh boy, Albany City Beer Hall. A place where the food is good, the beer flows freely, and the elbow room is scarce. Imagine this, you and your crew are looking for a place to grub, and you stumble upon this joint. It's like an old-timey pub, but with a modern twist. The walls are adorned with dark wood and there's a lively buzz in the air. Now, let's talk about the food. It's like a symphony of flavors, hitting all the right notes. The burgers are juicy and stacked high, and the salads are fresh and crisp. But the real star of the show is the chicken nuggets. Yes, you heard it right, chicken nuggets. But these ain't your ordinary nuggets. They're seasoned to perfection and fried to golden crisp that will make your taste buds dance. But hold your horses, my friends. The City Beer Hall is also a beer paradise. With a tap list that reads like a who's who of the beer world, you're spoiled for choice. And if you're lucky, you might even stumble upon a rare Hill Farmstead brew. Now, about the seating, let's just say it's cozy. Picture this, long, communal tables where you can share laughter and stories with your fellow diners. It's a bit like dining with a bunch of strangers, but in a good way, like a big, happy food family. Oh, and the service. Well, let me tell you, they're like ninjas with a smile. Always there when you need them, but never in your face. They'll even throw in a free personal pizza with your drink. It might not be the most glamorous pizza, but hey, it's free. So, there you have it, folks. The City Beer Hall, where the food is fantastic, the beer is flowing, and the company is, well, let's just say it's a mixed bag. But isn't that the best part of any dining experience? Numonayona, where the flavor party never stops. Picture this, you stumble into this place after the Tulip Festival, starving like a T-Rex. Suddenly, you're greeted by this vibrant, colorful space that's like a hug from an explosion at a Crayola factory. Now, let's talk food. They got everything from Ethiopian to Indian to Caribbean. It's like a culinary United Nations where all the flavors are partying it up. We ordered the curry fish tacos, and they were the tacos' answer to a birthday cake, happy, spicy, and a little bit fishy in a good way. The service. Flawless. The staff was like a well-oiled machine, but with more dancing and less grease. We swear, our server could have tap danced his way through our meal while taking our order. Oh, and the drinks. Let's just say they're so good, they'll make you forget that you're a grown-up and start doing the hokey pokey. And if they don't have a liquor license yet, no problem. Just bring your own bottle and they'll be like, sure, why not? Party on. So, if you're looking for a place where the food is a feast, the atmosphere is a fiesta, and the service is a salsa dance, Montayona is your spot. Just be prepared to share your table with the ghost of Whitney Houston, because you'll be screaming, I want to dance with somebody. The Nest, where the food soars and the service swoops, yo, showhounds. I've got the dish on the Nest, Albany's newest dining destination that's guaranteed to send your taste buds on a wild goose chase. Picture this, a hip and happening joint with a killer bar and a vibe so chill you'd think you were at a campfire with Snoop Dogg. The menu. A southern symphony of flavors that'll make you say, damn, that's where it's at, Jack. Let's start with the grit tots, folks. These little buggers are like the love child of tater tots and grits. They're crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, and so addictive you'll be asking for the keys to the kitchen. Next up, the chicken and waffles. I'm not lying, these are the bomb. The chicken is juicy AF, with a crispy coating that'll make you forget all about Kentucky Fried anything. And the waffles. They're like pillows of heaven, fluffy and golden brown. Now, for the short rib hash. It's like a party in your mouth, with tender short ribs, crispy potatoes, and a savory sauce that'll make your toes curl. The funfetti waffle is also a winner, with a sweet and fluffy interior that'll make you feel like a kid again. But hold up, there's more. The Nest has got a killer crab cake that'll put Joe's stone crab to shame. It's packed with crab, cooked to perfection, and served with a tangy sauce that'll have you licking your lips for days. Oh, and don't even get me started on the biscuits. They're fluffy, buttery, and so damn good you'll want to slap your mama. Pro tip, slather 'em with honey butter and thank me later. And speaking of service, these folks are on point. They'll greet you with a smile, take your order without batting an eye, and make sure you're happy as a clam. Even when they're slammed, they keep their cool like the Dalai Lama at a Red Sox game. So, gather your flock and head on over to the Nest. It's a dining experience that'll fill your belly, warm your soul, and make you cluck with joy. Just remember, it's so good, it might make you fly the coop. The scene where Albany's elite come to pretend they're in Soho. Imagine if you took a bunch of fancy New York City restaurants, threw 'em in a blender, and poured it into Albany's warehouse district. That's the scene, baby. The crowd is like a who's who of the city's one. You got your trust fund babies, your wannabe socialites, and your politicians who think they can hide behind oversized sunglasses. But don't be fooled by the fancy digs. The staff is surprisingly down to earth, like they're in on the joke. Now, let's talk about the food. It's bougie, but in a good way. Their signature sandwich is like a symphony of flavors in your mouth. It's got everything from prosciutto to fig jam to brie cheese. It's so good, even Dave Chappelle would say, I'm Rick James, seen which. Their Nutella French toast is a masterpiece. It's like eating a cloud of chocolatey goodness. And let's not forget the strawberry cheesecake waffle. It's a thing of beauty, topped with fresh strawberries and cheesecake cream. But here's the deal, the coffee is mediocre. It's like they forgot to put the coffee in the coffee pot. But hey, who needs caffeine when you're surrounded by so much opulence? Decor-wise, the scene is all about modern and sophisticated. It's like someone took a fancy hotel and turned it into a brunch spot. The only thing missing is a giant disco ball. Price-wise, it's not cheap, but it's worth it for the experience. You're paying for the ambience, the people watching, and the bragging rights. So, here's my final verdict. If you're looking for a taste of New York City in the heart of Albany, the scene is the place to be. Just don't forget your designer sunglasses and your credit card. Your Instagram followers will thank you. Yo, check it out. Grappa 72 Ristorante in Albany is where it's at if you're craving some authentic Italian that'll make mama proud. Let's talk food. It's like a party in your mouth. The handmade pasta is so al dente, you'd think it had its own personal trainer. And the burrata. Oh, the creamy, dreamy burrata. It's like a mozzarella pillow filled with deliciousness. The atmosphere is pure class, with dim lights and candlelight creating a mood that's both romantic and cozy. It's like being in a secret Italian hideaway, but with way better Wi-Fi. The stuff. They're like the Italian version of superheroes. They're friendly, attentive, and always ready to recommend the perfect wine pairing. Now, about the noise level. It can get a little rowdy, but hey, it's Italian. It's like a big, happy Italian family reunion, except the food is actually good and you don't have to listen to Uncle Tony's political rants. And let's not forget the prices. They'll leave you with enough dough to buy a cute little Fiat. Bottom line, if you're looking for an unforgettable Italian dining experience, Grappa 72 is the bomb. Just make sure to make reservations, or you might end up singing "That's Homo" in the parking lot.